Hi, I'm Chef Leo.
Hi, I'm Chef Theo, and this is The Confessions of a Private Chef. Hey, Chef, how you doing?
I'm doing great, brother. It's great to be back again. I say that every fucking week, but it really is. You know,
man.
You know, you get so caught up with work and shit that this is our playtime. I mean, I love fishing and everything else that, you know, that I can do on the, for fun, but this is really fun.
Yeah, man.
Especially when you have like badass guests, which we only have badass guests on our show.
Hell yeah, dude. Hey, I saw you're up for an award.
I am. I think it ends like on the 15th or 17th of this month, but it's cool to be nominated for like best chef when honestly a lot of the people in town haven't had a lot of my food. So it's just mostly visitors. I do have a handful of people that I cook for. So I'm either and B&B owners that I cook for as well when they're not renting their B&Bs are here and they're hiring me. So that's really cool. So yeah, thank you whoever nominated me, and hopefully, you know, I've been here long enough. People know me, so if not for my food, at least, you know, they think
Absolutely.
They think, you know, I have good food. So I'm hoping I do, man, enough to win this.
Well, I've been voting, dude. It's a great way for them to collect information too. I was like, I've been voting and I've been noticing it's like, it always wants like your information and stuff like that. I'm like, well, this is a great way to like spread local awareness of businesses and also, you know, get, you know, collect people's email addresses.
Yeah.
And phone numbers.
You know, well, you know, the Breakfast Standards, they're a great company, man. The director there, or the what do you want to call it, chief editor, he is a total badass too. He's been doing that for, I mean, at least I want to say 10 years at least, or maybe even longer. But you know, they produce great content. There's a lot of newspapers that go out of business, you know, in smaller towns, and for Fredericksburg to still have their newspaper is great. I remember when they were on Main Street, my father painted the sign, and I have a picture on my Instagram of me, my dad's on the bottom of the ladder, I'm on top of there, and it was like they took a picture and then they published it, and that was like, wow, that like a time capsule, you know, that's really cool. So, but I love the people over there, and you know, again, thanks. What about you, man? You were at College Station.
College Station was last week. This week I had private dinner on Saturday, a couple of drop-offs for ready-to-eat meals, and yeah, man, just going at it, you know, just doing what I can. Yeah. Putting furniture together, I heard. Oh, yeah. Sunday was furniture day. That took quite a bit of time, a little bit more. You know, my wife bought this stuff from Amazon. It was all on special, you know, and then it comes in and then you realize,
sucks balls.
Dude,
brother.
This stuff has...
Dude, I got the little white table that shoots some shit on top of, you know, a lot. And it took me like half a day to put that thing together, and it's a piece of shit. You know, the first time I used it, got scratches and shit, fucking cardboard. Shit. Yeah. But anyways, good luck with your stuff, man.
Yeah, so, dude, for sure. Well, what about our guest today?
Dude, our guest. I met this guy at a dinner. His head assistant, I guess, called me, or message. Yeah, she called me. I think she messaged me first on Instagram because, hey, we got a group of girls coming over for a influencer dinner, and what kind of deal you can hook me up with? That was her thing. It's like, wow, I wish I could give you a deal, but I got to feed the family, you know. And it was like, I don't give deals for influencers because I don't need the marketing at that time. It was like, it's hard because you're getting your business started and shit. And she was like, well, let me check with Buddy or whoever. It's like, okay, cool. Yeah, we're good. Not a problem, man. It's like, okay, good, man. I thought it was going to be one of those things goes back and forth. And it's like, oh, man. And so I had no idea who this guy was or the company or his wife. And I decided to look him up. I was like, oh, shit, this is cool. It's like, I've never cooked for a group of ladies or a company that was in the fashion industry. So when you do these dinners and you show up, you know, I'm not easily intimidated, or I'm not, you know, starstruck, but you see this guy, it's like, oh shit, man, who the fuck is this guy? Yeah. It's like mind blowing because you see, you know, first you see him, like, he looks like someone, you know, and self-made, you know, him and his wife in this industry, and it's really cool to see where they started and where they're at now. Yeah. Things change, you know, the economy changes, but you know, you keep pushing through. And it's one of those things that, you know, as a business owner, you know, you work your ass off, and to see these people do exactly that is really cool. So anyways, I show up at this dinner. It's like, oh God, you know, tons of beautiful women running around because they want to put their clothes, you know, on these women so they can, you know, put it out there and get other, beautiful women to wear it. And it's like, of course, clothes is made for everyone, but you want to portray it the best way you can, right?
For sure.
But the best part of the cooking for them was that everyone was so humble and so nice and just like help promote even me and my business. And I always, do my best to promote everyone and anyone that I can through what I do. And so, I decided, you know what? I'll take a bottle of tequila, break the ice, and sure enough, we get there, everybody greets me, and open the tequila, and we start taking shots, man. And so it's never work, it's always fun. You try to make it fun and enjoyable for your clients and for yourself, and, just create an atmosphere where everyone's enjoying themselves.
For sure.
And I remember that night, man, we grilled ribeye steaks. Girls can eat, man. They eat more than the guys that I cook for. And bro, it was like
they threw down.
Yeah, and we didn't even have to smoke weed. Everybody had a good appetite. So it was like, damn, all right. But a lot came out of that. It was a great relationship, and it was like family, man. And then we kept in contact, and then one thing led to the next, and before you know, it's like, hey, let's have a cup of coffee, and it's like, let's talk about Fredericksburg, man. I really love the town, and just things evolved, and send them in the direction of a few people, and then just kind of motivate each other to want to do more in the community to help out, and probably and try to put your product out the best way you can. So so anyways, that being said, it was kind of a short story. Stay in contact, and it's like whenever I see him doing something cool, you kind of always try to engage and, let the other person know that you're proud of what they're doing. And people normally do that, especially on social media, through likes and comments and stuff. So, proud supporter of this guy and what he's doing and his wife. So with that being said, man, buddy DiFonzo, thanks for being here, my brother.
Hello. That was a nice introduction. I appreciate that. It was the PG version.
We keep it pretty clean sometimes. We say fuck shit, come whatever the fuck we want to say. Yeah.
We'll probably drop a couple of expletives. But that story kind of is a genesis story for what we started doing as influencer marketing around the country. It was really our first real centralized influencer meetup. And really the reason it all kind of started is because of the pandemic, 2020, the year that will always live in infamy.
In our lifetime anyways.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think we're still recovering from it in a lot of ways. Small businesses are probably still suffering from the free money and things like that. There's a shift in buying and spending and consumerism and all those things. But with that said, we always knew that a lot of creative people in the same place at one time created center mass, and it helped us, get our brand in front of a lot of people, a lot of different audiences. And so when our social media and our marketing people reached out to Chef Leo, we were trying to come up with a really unique way to like showcase Buddy Love, showcase the wine industry, showcase the hill country, showcase private chefs and all the things that that you guys offer. And we were able to do it in Fredericksburg because when we came down here, it's like nobody gave a fuck about the pandemic. It was like no masks, no 6 foot dots keeping everybody apart. It was just go to Crossroads Saloon, hoot and holler, get up, jump on a bubble bus and go out to Signor or wherever you went, drink, and then get back to the Airbnb or the bed and breakfast. And
it was a totally different mindset here.
Yeah, dude, I loved
from the beginning. Yeah, we had so many people coming from all over the state, the country, man.
Yeah, Dallas was a disaster. I mean, Dallas had it all. We had the pandemic, we had the shutdowns, we had the movements and the riots and all the things. And I'm like, let's get the hell out of here. So,
man.
Fredericksburg was a nice respite for us, and it led to a lot of other firsts for us too. We did the influencer trip, and those always go really well because the content creator economy right now, it was kind of young in 2020, 2021. People were kind of hating on it, like, oh, what are they doing? They're just constantly on the internet talking about themselves, but now they're making money, like real money.
Totally, man.
And so
we're not yet.
You'll get there. No, you guys have the presence. Y'all, I mean, I guess at the end of the day, we were talking about this pre-show, but it's consistency.
Mm-hmm.
Deliver a good product, and deliver it over and over and over. And you guys are doing it. I'm a big fan. I've actually listened to,
thanks, brother.
I mean, at least half of y'all's pods, and all your guests are amazing. Some of them are my personal friends that you guys have had on here. Some of them I'm like, oh shit, I wish I'd have known that person when I was, bringing the cookies and the charcuteries and stuff like that. And then y'all have just some exceptional, talented chefs on the show too. So it's a really unique blend. And that's kind of Fredericksburg in a shell. Like you just get so much diversity here and opportunity. So after we had the influencer event, became friends with Chef Leo, and I mean that was obvious. Dude's a bad dude. I show up. It's me, and this is the way I usually travel the country. It's me and like 15 girls, and they're all like models. And he's like, "Chingon, what are you doing here with all these girls, bro?" And I'm like, "Damn!" I was like, "Man, like I'm just the guy behind the girls." Like everybody's like, "What are you doing, Buddy Love?" I'm like, I do all the shit no one else wants to do. So
literally does, man.
Yeah,
he's the guy painting, he's the guy cleaning, constructing. Yeah, he's the guy that, you don't see the shit that goes behind all this beauty. It's that he's the guy that makes it happen. I mean, shit, it's funny as fuck to watch too. It's like, I don't know what I'm doing. YouTube it.
It's like I don't like. I have my PhD in furniture assembly, dude. Like I could build an Amazon or IKEA desk with my eyes closed. I don't even need those instructions anymore. It's like screw this, do that, bop, bop, boom, done. But just to kind of progress through the Fredericksburg thread of our story, we left here and the vibe was just so good. And there, Leo's dropping all this knowledge on me. He's like, we've got 100 wineries, we've got Michelin star rated chefs, we've got all of these eclectic things. And I'm like, well, sounds like my customer, number 2 bachelorette destination in the country. It's it's got all of these amenities. There's Airbnbs for every single type of person, whether it's just you and your wife or you and your bachelorette party or whatever. And then you've got the bubble buses and the caviar bars, and I mean the list goes on and on and on. Yeah. And so I'm like, dude, we need a spot on Main Street. Like it has to be on Main Street. And they're like, well,
are you sure? Yeah.
Like, dude, good luck. Yeah. It's called the Golden Rectangle for a reason. Like you need to be a golden boy to get in there. And I'm like, well, I'll take whatever I can get. So we ended up getting a little small 900 square foot cottage bungalow. They considered it, I can't remember exactly what the city called it, but it was like low priority historic district.
Yeah.
So like,
doing it on the actual. Cool,
I'll take it. Like basically you can do whatever you want with it. So
except for that, I mean, how much did you have to go through to get that color painted? Because you did yours before Brooks did with the pink. So
I've heard a few different versions of that story. Basically got the lease. I told him I wanted to paint it pink. I was going to revitalize the front yard. I mean, before we got it, it was a goat Airbnb.
Dude,
like there was actual goats in the front yard. Like, dude,
I think with the rock place first, and then the goat. It was
some rocks,
so weird.
Some stones, and then some goats.
It's pretty rough.
Dude, it sucked.
It was rough. The paint was literally peeling off. The yard was goat destroyed. So I'm like, look, I'm going to come in. I'd like to revitalize it. I'd like to make it a little Buddy Love haven. And so basically the city asked me to send them renderings of our design. I sent it in. I sent the colorways, basically literally what I did there looks exactly like the digital rendering. And they approved it.
Oh, shit.
So it was like crazy. Literally like, I don't know what everybody else has had to go through, but for me it was like
Brooke was a bitch for her to do it.
I heard she was telling me, she was like, how did you get this done? I was like, must have been lucky, must have been timing, must have been
it's everything,
whatever. But we had a little pink house, and we kind of started to set the tone for that block with the vibes. And now it's, I mean, honestly, I think it's the best block in Fredericksburg. It's
really coming up.
It's got 6 twists. It's got the Bubble Lounge. It's got favorite lounge, the Velvet Lounge.
Of course, you like that.
Shit, I might end up there later today.
I'm sure you will.
Blame it all on my roots.
Dude, you know what? Honestly, I've been in there like once for like 5 minutes. I just couldn't hack it.
Yeah,
I couldn't get in there. I thought, you know what, I'm going to go and have an old fashioned and try it. And I walked in there, sat at the bar with my cousin, Jorge. He's a doctor. And I thought, I'm going to treat him to, something different, maybe get some cool, like entertainment. We had just left the Pacific War Museum, like a 5 after 5 event. And we'll walk in there and I sit down and this girl gets up and she opens her mouth and it's like, oh, nope, let's go. Just sounded like shit. And it's like, I guess, and it was early in the day. It was like maybe 7 o'clock. So it's like, that's all I could hack, man. As a musician, I'm not a singer, but I appreciate people singing well. And it's like, oh man, I just couldn't. I couldn't. So,
the next American Idol is not walking on the stage at the Velvet Lounge.
No, man, you gotta be drunk and high.
The most talented people they have there usually are like the bartenders or the people that work there.
I see that, yeah.
I love that block. We held our space there for 3 years. Our lease came up and, it taught us a lot. It taught us how to run a brick and mortar. I mean, Grayson and I, Grayson's my wife. She's creative director, CEO, designer. She's
everything,
babe.
right?
She's boss babe extraordinaire. It taught us how to run a brick and mortar. And she's always like, there's no way I'm ever going to open a brick and mortar store. You got to be fucking nuts to do that. Like it's insane. But Fredericksburg kind of taught us how to manage that on a small scale. I mean, like I said, it was 900 square feet and we filled that thing to the brim with clothes. But what we found out is, most people that are coming to Fredericksburg, they're already wearing Buddy Love. Like they're coming here wearing Buddy Love to go to the wineries for their Instagrams and all that stuff. So, it was a nice experiment. But now we have a flagship store on Lover's Lane in Dallas, Texas. Kind of serendipitous, Buddy Love.
Wow.
I know.
Buddy Love on Lovers.
Yeah, it's funny.
And it's beautiful. We designed it. It's a beautiful space, and it's doing really well. It's in the center of Highland Park. And
how big is that one?
It's 2,500 square feet.
Shit.
Dang, a lot bigger.
Yeah, it's big. It's big, and I mean, it reflects in the numbers, the revenues, all of those things. So it's nice, and understanding how to keep it running. 3 years of Fredericksburg was a big,
especially I'm sure like hiring just people there, because now you have a pool of people that you can pull for employees here in Fredericksburg. It's almost impossible to find anyone, man. You got to ask a friend that knows a friend that maybe might have a sister that could possibly do it.
Honestly, that's how we got everybody that worked there. It was like, hey, Leo, you know anybody? Like, you guys know anybody?
Well, it's hard.
It's hard. I think that's the hardest part of business. I think that's why a lot of entrepreneurs stay solopreneurs, because it's like managing people it's a weight that you carry that you're like, how long can I carry this?
Until you can't, right? And then everything just falls through the cracks. It's always hard, and people don't understand the work and the time you got to put behind just any little thing you do. It's not just I got to run the business, but just to get to the fucking business. It's like it's work sometimes.
I think running a business is like a blood sport. Like you got to just stay in the fight. Like the longer you stay in the fight, the better chance you have. But it truly is. It can be brutal. When you're responsible for everything and everyone, and you never know where the next pitfall is unless you've some like magic ball where you're like, oh shit, the economy's out to go this way, or prices are going here, or things like that. So, a lot of people always ask me, what's Buddy Love? Who's Buddy Love?
Why the name? But that's it, your name.
How did you get into this? And like the best version of that story is I married into it. My wife, Grayson, she's a fashion designer. She went to school at TCU for fashion design and merchandising. And it's a great school. It's a great program. And she basically just always knew she was going to be in the fashion industry. And when she started her business, she was kind of like, what am I going to name this brand? Like, I don't know, like Shades of Grey. This was before that whole thing came out.
Shades of Grey.
She's like, yeah, that's good, Shades of Grey. And, most of the people that are
50 Shades of Grey.
How many shades of gray? And so in the space that we're in Dallas, it's kind of, there's LA, New York, and Dallas. And so we spent a little bit of time living in the Caribbean, which is a whole nother story that we get into another time. But when we came back from St. John, she ended up in Dallas, and she worked at a World Trade Center in a showroom. And she's like, working her ass off for this like Devil Wears Prada type boss, and like she'd come home just furious, frustrated, crying. I'm just like, hey, this is not good. This is not good for our very young marriage. We've been married for a year. And so I'm like, what do you want to do? She's like, well, I want to open up my own business. I want to be in the fashion space. And she's like, and I want to name it Buddy Love. And I'm like, you're crazy. You can't name your business after me. And the name Buddy Love is actually a family pet name. Like her family has been calling me Buddy Love since high school. So Grayson and I met in 5th grade.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we grew up in New Braunfels, Texas. So we're hill country kids, river rats. You know, we grew up on the Comal and the Guadalupe River.
Hell yeah.
But Grayson moved to New Braunfels in 5th grade from Houston, Texas. And I fell in love immediately. I was like, dang, she was, you know,
Gotta hit that.
12 years old, looking like just a Cindy Crawford walked in or something like that. And, you know, I'm this little Italian. Her version's funny. She's like, he's this little Italian with the slick hair and the silk shirts. Never was going to have a chance.
Oh, God.
So I just, you know, I bided my time. And, you know, like they say, keep your friends close or your enemies close or whatever. I kept her close by dating all of her friends.
Oh, wow.
so yeah.
That's what you do in hill country.
Yeah, man. It's like if I can't, because, you know, Grayson was dating all the upperclassmen. You know, I had no shot. But her parents were always like, hey, Buddy Love, is he sticking around for dinner? Hey, Buddy Love's coming by. You know, he's picking these people up, whatever. So they just called me Buddy Love from that old Jerry Lewis movie, The Nutty Professor. Yeah. I think of myself more of the Eddie Murphy version, but
but hey, I like that old one, man. That was
hell yeah.
Classic is always best.
It's good. It's kooky, but it's good.
Yeah, it's a good one.
And so so she named it Buddy Love, and it's in a lot of ways it is an alter ego. You know, I'm Buddy DiFonzo, but I go out now and people are like, "What's up, Buddy Love?"
Of course, man.
So I
why Buddy though? I mean,
Buddy. So my given name is Robert Joseph DiFonzo Jr.
Roberto.
And my dad he's Italian. He's from Boston. He grew up in a tough part of the city there. And when he turned 18, he's like, I got to get the fuck out of here. And so he joined the Navy, and he ended up, selling the world. And then somehow, some way, he ended up in New Braunfels, Texas, at a honky tonk called the Crystal Chandelier, and met my mom. They fell in love. They get married, and then they have me. And the family up in the Northeast is just like, what are we going to call this kid? I mean, he's a Texan. Yeah. What do they call? What are the nicknames for Texans? And they're like, we're going to call him Buddy. little Texas Buddy. And then it stuck. And my Grayson was kind of saying this the other day. She was like, you really have kind of become your name.
Totally.
Like I like being a buddy.
It's true.
It's easy for me. I like it's disarming.
Yeah, exactly.
And people don't feel like
it's very approachable.
Yes, that's totally approachable.
And I like to keep it casual. That's kind of my motto of life. Keep it casual. No matter how hard my heart's beating or frustrated I get, I'm like,
you're fine,
keep
bro.
it casual.
No big deal, right?
NBD.
Fuck yeah.
NBD.
But yeah, man, we're going 15 years strong on the brand.
It's fast.
Yeah, it goes by fast. We started out as a wholesale business, selling our designs to buyers and boutique owners around the country. And at the height of our distribution, we were in over 2,000 boutiques.
Wow, man.
Yeah, and that was a lot of work. And so that was kind of my role. I built the operations. I made sure that the product got made, it got delivered to the warehouse, and then distributed to the end consumer buyer. And then as things evolved, the internet's made things
a lot
more
easier.
accessible, but at the same time, significantly more difficult.
More competitive.
And I'm watching your setup here, just looking at all the software and tools and things like that just to run a podcast. Well, to run my e-commerce website, I probably have 40 app integrations, and 12 different revenue streams and customers from all over the place, where it's just it's never ending. But it's easier to make a little bit of money on the internet than it was going door to door in a Sprinter van.
So did y'all kind of get your start in the Dallas Market Center? Yeah,
there's a World Trade Center in Dallas. So there's a handful of them around the country. Dallas has one of the bigger ones. There's one in Atlanta, Dallas, New York, LA. And we have a full-time showroom on the 15th floor. So,
oh wow.
And it's kind of cool if you've never been to the World Trade Center. If you ever go,
yeah, been there.
It's beautiful.
Oh yeah,
it's 15 stores.
It's all open in the middle. You can see up all the way.
Beautiful atrium, and each floor is catered to a different like buyer's market. So like the first floor is like art and rugs and designer furniture, and then the second floor is like more home goods, and then the third floor is like toys, and then the fourth floor is gift. The fifth floor is holiday, like it's Christmas year round on the fifth floor, and then the seventh floor is diamonds and gold.
Holy shit!
Like, that's my floor. Like,
swing down.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, I'm headed down to the seventh floor. I'm going to go poke through some diamonds. Yeah. And then we're on the 15th floor, which is women's contemporary. And so, when we started the showroom, it used to be a party spot. Like people would come to Dallas to throw down, buy clothes, and that's kind of what we did better than everybody because, we were a young couple, young business. They had zero faith in us. They're like, here's a 600 square foot showroom. We're going to throw you in the back corner. Good luck.
So you just threw a party.
And I'm like, you know what? What gets people's attention? Balloons. Balloons. So we put balloon arches, and the other sound of the only sound in the world that signifies the start of a party is champagne popping bottles. So I'm popping bottles. Pop. And people were like, hey! So they just come down, and then like we were really good at keeping them in there. So, we just got our start kind of hustling and selling what we could sell. And then, I was listening to y'all's podcast about hospitality the other day, and that's kind of was the genesis of our success too. We really, really cared. Like really cared. Like they got our box that shows delivered. We're calling, hey, what do you think? You like what you got? Yeah. You don't? Can we swap it out for something? And we just really took advantage of customer service, and we're still trying to maintain that, but it's one of those things where it's
never ending, man. Yeah, it's never ending. And you want to keep in business, stay in business, and keep your customers for the long term. It's like you have to build that personal relationship. You can't just treat it as a business transaction, right? So it's the same way. I mean, we have recurring customers all the time, and what keeps them from going somewhere else? It's that relationship. You almost feel
definitely want them to come back,
and I don't know, but you get to the point to where it's almost like, dude, I'm going to be in Fredericksburg. I have to call him, or I have to. And I have people call me and say, hey, I'm in town. I know that you're booked, but maybe we can just, meet up for a drink, or, and then that's really cool, man, because you've now have this relationship for a lifetime. Unless you fucking piss them off somehow, but it's like,
well, you created a friendship.
Yeah. So like what we have. So this is really cool, man.
Yeah. I think you're like the honorary mayor of Fredericksburg.
It's true, man.
Knows everybody. Say, have you met this person? This person? He's like, let me walk you over here to introduce you to this guy. You got to meet these people. They're amazing. And by the end of like my first 6 months of just bumming around Fredericksburg, I'm like, kind of know everybody now.
Totally.
Chef Leo.
You go to HEB, it's like, fuck, dude, keep your head down. Just like,
no, I love it here. I mean, I do. So like, I was humbled and honored and appreciate you guys inviting me to be on today.
Hell yeah, dude.
I know that you guys are kind of scratching the surface on this. So, I'm an open book. Whatever you guys want to talk about today, let's dig in.
I do want to touch a little bit on your health and wellness, because just from the moment meeting you, I'm like, this guy's got a routine of some sort. So what do you do? Because it sounds like you're a super busy guy and you got a lot going on. You're probably shipping all over the world at this point. So how do you stay grounded in that aspect?
Oh man, that journey's been a long journey. Probably like everybody, I went through my downward spiral in the pandemic. I opened more bottles of wine and booze than I probably should have. Probably inhaled a little too much smoke every now and then, and I suffered from it in a lot of ways because I just got lazy. But then I kind of had a wake up call, and Grayson's been a really big part of that journey for me too. She's very much into, I don't want to call it anti-aging because I don't think that's what they're calling it anymore, but it's like, I think it's called like graceful aging.
There you go. Yeah.
Like,
but you can chill, man. You got your gray going on. It looks sexy as fuck.
Yeah. Try to, the gray I can't do anything about.
But it looks
once
good.
It goes, it goes.
Yeah.
But yeah, so some of the things that I really, really try to do regularly, I'm on this new mushroom tincture, which is for cognitive abilities to be able to just kind of keep your brain moving at the pace of life, which is really fast right now.
And focused,
I focus. I even have the sleep side of it. There's the stuff like lion's mane and some of the other compounds that for skin and hair and stuff like that. But for the most part, the mushroom stuff has been really good for waking up and just feeling like ready to go. And like, it might not taste great, but eventually just like everything, you kind of get used to it. You're just like,
Well, you know what? Last week we had a guy here from Enchanted Mushroom, and he brought his tinctures in, and it was like, I was blown away by it, because literally 15 minutes after I took a droplet, I was like, damn, I was zoned in. Yeah. And I had never tried it. I wasn't really familiar with what it was.
Yep.
And honestly, tasted okay. It was like a bitter chocolate flavor.
Yeah. Some can be really, really simple. Some can be really powerful.
Aggressive. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but that works.
But yeah, then the other side of it is, I got into just finding the gym. Like, to me, like now I've got a routine. I go and I lift heavy, and then I go pray and meditate in the sauna.
Awesome.
Yeah. At about 190 degrees, sitting there, like, that's kind of where I'm writing my poetry, my mantras, I'm like, I got to get this out of my head. Like, boom.
But did you have to like get cut? I mean, not cut. Did you have to like drop the weight prior to started getting cut and fit?
No, I think
you weren't watching what you ate. You didn't eat anything in particular. You were still just doing what you did, but working out.
Yeah. I definitely, I don't eat a lot, honestly. Like I kind of don't eat throughout the day. It's weird. I don't know what happened. I just got to this place where like I eat one big meal a day, and it's usually 6 o'clock with the family. And then that's kind of it. I do have a bit of a sugar addiction, which I was reading like that's like as bad as heroin. Like sugar is
it's a drug. People don't know how that caffeine, but
all of that. And so those are my weaknesses. But for me, it's like, once you fire up the body and get it in a place where you feel strong, the body then helps the mind remember that, hey, the body does what the mind tells it to do.
Yeah, right on.
And as I'm feeling discouraged or down because I have my days where I'm just like, I can't get over this feeling, just go hit the gym or hit a walk. I mean, like walking around Fredericksburg, like Leo saw me this morning, I got up, I went for a walk, and I just breathed the air and got the sun and kind of mentally prepared for this because, I don't know if this is, taxing on you guys, but sitting here talking and doing those things, by the end of it, you spent a lot of energy. So you got to kind of mentally prepare for days like that. So, I try to eat pretty clean. Most of my stuff is all protein, a lot of protein. And then a lot of water.
Yeah, man.
I force myself to drink water.
I know.
Because I don't like water.
Me too. I'm the same, man. It's like, it really is like a chore almost in many ways. My wife's completely different. I mean, she can just chug water all day. I'm like, it just isn't, to me, I don't know.
It's a mindset thing. Like, you just have to like, you know what, I'm going to drink this entire bottle of water, and I don't care how many times I have to go to the bathroom.
The same way.
Yeah.
I hate water. Yes, my water bottle's over there, and it's like I've got to be walking. I left it at the doctor's office the other day, man, because I'm everywhere with it now. It's really weird, but I lost 22 pounds in this year.
Yeah, you look good, man.
But yes, of course, I found out I was like type 2 diabetic, so there's no more sugar,
no
more
you gotta
carbs.
cut that out.
And then I'm just riding a bike now. Got a bike. My son ordered me a bike. Of course, I paid for it, but he ordered me the one that he thought I should get, and been riding every day. Yesterday was my first day.
Out on the street or on the
street, man. Yeah. Like on the street. So yesterday was my first day. I actually didn't, because I think my body finally told me, you know what? Fuck this. I need a break.
Take a day of rest.
I literally fell asleep at 6 o'clock and in the afternoon, and didn't wake up till like 9:30, and then back to sleep.
Yeah.
But it hadn't been like that. I'm used to working out in the yard, the ranch, or whatever, and I get tired, but never do I just stop because my body tells me to. Yesterday was the first time in like 3 months.
Yeah, you're a machine. Crazy, I watch your Instagram. You're like literally never stop going. It's quite impressive.
Somebody's got to do it, brother.
Yeah.
This Mexican can't hire other Mexicans, man, because I don't have it in my budget to do something. So it's like, got to do it.
It's like that Brad Pitt line. Are you a Mexican or a Mexicant?
I'm a Mexican.
And even, I know that even when Chef and I, when we eat together, it's like straight up like all protein. It's like a bunch of chicken and like, like like zero sugar barbecue sauce, or it's like a freaking tomahawk steak with just like a little flaky salt and some olive oil. You know what I mean?
So
it's
simple,
like,
but so good.
Yeah.
I remember that ribeye you made for us that night, and I remember that tequila. It was a red bottle. It was beautiful.
I can't remember. I got so much of it.
But anyways,
you can look down there.
Shameless plug, but Chef Leo's in there. He's got a badass ribeyes in that Fredericksburg cast iron. I'd never eaten a steak that way. I'd never had. I'm so used to like it being charred, like grilled or flat ironed or whatever. And he's got these cast iron skillets going with butters and garlics and all this stuff, and I'm just like, dang, man, it smells good in here. He's like, here, let me cut you off a little piece, bro. Throws me a little meat.
I like the way he does my accent,
yeah,
man.
hey, come here, have some of this. And then he throws me some meat, and then he's like, oh, here, try some of this. And I'm like, what is it? He's like, it's the best tequila. I'm like, I drink the tequila. And then he's like, come on, try this. I mean, the guy is just...
Yeah, the guy's there. He had to put an apron on, man, because, you know, he didn't want to let everyone else see that he had a hard on for me eating my food. And it was good. Tequila, man.
The apron didn't do a good job.
Yeah, dude, it looked like a fucking tent.
Dude,
I was wrecked the next day. So, like, then the next day, we... again, there's 15 influencers, myself. I'm hungover. Like, champagne and wine and tequila. And we got to get up on Brooks Bubble Bus and go out to
drink
Ab Astris, Slate Theory, Signor, and like another vineyard. And we get up, it's 8:30. We're out at Ab Astris at 9, and it's like, here's some breakfast wine. I'm like, fuck it. It's only in Fredericksburg.
You got to keep it going, man.
Just got to go.
Touching base, man, on that. So what did you think of that for cast iron, man?
I loved it. Honestly,
did you ever get one?
I need to get one.
Oh, man,
I actually have put one in my cart from your stories, so I just need to close that deal and get it done.
Yeah,
and then I'll have to, watch your YouTubes or whatever on how to cook it, because
it's super simple.
I've ruined every cast iron I've had. I don't know how to clean them. I don't know.
These are different. These are way different. I did some fillets for this dinner I did this last weekend with some bone marrow butter. And dude, the FBG cast iron, just like, oh my god, dude.
Yeah. So the difference between them is that you really can't fuck them up, even if you leave them out in the rain. Like, I did this thing where I just left one out just to see how long it would take me to clean it and get it back to how it was. So I left it out for like 2 weeks and brought it back in, washed it, did a little bit of what's that blue shit they sell for your dishes. I can never remember that. ATAG shit.
Oh.
Or, powder, and just rub that on with a little
powder stuff.
Yeah, with a little bit of like a light steel wool. Cleaned it back up. Literally took me like 10 minutes, and put some oil on it, put it in the oven, and it was like new. But what's really badass about this product is that it's the surface is super smooth. It's not porous. It's like non-stick. He mills it down to where it's super even cooking. Lodges are porous. You'll see these little, like, almost looks like a little like pebble surface. Nice. So things tend to stick in there, and it's harder to clean. And they come pre-cured, so you're getting them out of the box and they're ready to go. You don't have to fuck with it, right? So, I mean, it's definitely the best product out in the market right now. And the best thing about it is, like, other competitors, it's made in Texas, made in Fredericksburg. So not only are you buying a badass product, you're helping local community, and you're just giving back to, this Texas Hill Country, or Texas in general.
Yeah.
So
you're supporting a great Texas brand.
Totally.
Yeah, man.
Totally, man. So we'll have to hook you up, man.
Yeah, dude.
For sure. I love, that's another thing I love about Fredericksburg. Like, you guys brand everything. Like, like, if you're here, you're in Fredericksburg. Like, there's FBG on everything, and I love it. I mean, I love it. I think that was like our number one selling item in the store hat. Was our FBGTX t-shirts, like,
and the hat, man.
And the hat, that's good. I do too. I wish I had reserves, because I'm down to my like last two. I wear them sparingly, but yeah, dude, that was a great meal. And then just kind of going into the influencer thing and working through Fredericksburg has just been eye-opening. It really set the pace for the explosive growth our brand went through from like 2022 to now. Collaboration, and that's why linking with guys like you or other specialty people is so important. It's the sharing of the audience.
And now we're going to take a quick break to hear about our amazing partner. You know what, Chef? I love these pans, man. Oh my God.
You know, it is the best tool to have in your kitchen, in your arsenal of tools. This is the one thing everyone has to get.
Whether you're a private chef or you're going on a camping trip for the weekend, I mean, you just cannot go wrong with these things.
Correct. Yeah, man. Fredericksburg Cast Iron produces a product that just, you know, it's the best thing you can get. I mean, made in Texas, here locally in Fredericksburg, and it's for a lifetime.
You know, the one that Jay gave me is definitely going to be handed down to my kids. It's like the one thing I know.
The same here, man. If not, I'll be buried with it.
You know, it has such a smooth surface and it comes pre-seasoned.
The best part about this product is that you don't have to do anything to it. It's just straight out of the box. A badass product. You can't ask for anything better.
So whether you're making, you know, biscuits in a cast iron skillet or you're searing a steak, I mean, it is so versatile and it will last for a lifetime.
Totally, man. From sauces to eggs to anything.
Dude, I know, man. I actually was scrambling some eggs in mine and it does not act like other cast iron skillets. My eggs did not stick. They came out perfect and I'm a true believer. So you can find these amazing pans at fbgcastiron.com. And if you use the promo code COAPC, you're going to get free shipping, which is an amazing deal. Don't you agree, Chef Leo?
I totally agree. That's like a $35 off. I know for a fact because I just had one ship to Arizona. So yeah, totally.
Yeah, so make sure you go on there and just enter in COAPC for your chance at free shipping on this amazing product. And you can also find them at Black Shark Laundry, I know, in Fredericksburg.
Right. And of course, social media.
Social media. And I've actually seen them at Central Market in Austin. So if you're around that area, that's where you can find them there too as well.
That's great.
Well, again, thanks to FBG Cast Iron for sponsoring this podcast. And we are so grateful to them for that. And y'all go out and get it.
All right. Back to the show, guys.
Back to the show. So, buddy, what has it been like? Let's touch on marketing in this economy. This is kind of like a subject that, you know, I think a lot of people are trying to figure out, like marketing strategies for the time that we live in. How has your business, what have you done, or what kind of indicators do you see, or how have you found successful marketing in this time?
Oh man, that's a loaded question because there's just so many layers to it now. Currently, the way that we're finding success in marketing is through just a lot of different, diverse, creative content. So by that, I mean, we're on multiple platforms. So we have TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, whatever it is. And so each of those channels requires
a different
content
feed.
That is speaking, a different voice, a different message, a different component. But at the end of the day, unlike a lot of, and I've heard this repeatedly on y'all's show, unlike you guys, we have to compete at a really expensive level. So in the fashion space, we're having to buy a lot of ads. And really that whole ecosystem is built on the algorithm. It's built on making money for Meta. It's built on making money for TikTok.
Yeah.
But the beauty of it is that machine is so smart that if you do create good content, it will serve it to the right audience. Like Meta, Facebook, Instagram, for those that are old school, is so smart. It knows exactly who you are, your age, what you shopped for before, what your search history is.
It knows when you take a shit.
It does. I mean, it's listening to the plop. Bloop.
It literally is, bro.
It's like, you need to re-up on Charmin.
Oh, dude. When you know, really quick, when I was in Atlanta, we were at a market. I remember a meeting with Google. You walk in and everyone's like, okay, turn off your phone and leave it outside.
Really? Because they know.
Or put them in those go bags or whatever they're called.
Yeah, that is scary shit.
Yeah.
They know. Yeah.
I can't have a conversation inside the house, you know, and my Google Play and stuff that like literally 30 seconds later, I'll get an ad on my Instagram.
Yeah, no conspiracy theories there. They'll come after you.
That's what it is, bro. Anyway.
The thought police over there.
So you spend a lot of money.
Spend a lot of money on paid marketing. But to kind of balance that out, we do a lot of collaboration. So it's product seeding. So we love to distribute samples, clothes to influencers or content creators or community leaders, people who are dressing for certain events or things like that. For example, after this, I'll go meet up with Brooke, and I'm going to drop off a whole bunch of pink, sparkly sequin dresses, jackets, blazers for her pop-up in Round Top for the whole month. So we'll get exposure those ways. And what that does is it feeds the top of the funnel. The top of the funnel meaning people go to the internet, they search Buddy Love. Google says, we think you might like this website. We're going to send you to Buddy Love. Then they go. They last maybe 30 seconds. I don't know how, like everybody's shopping experiences are between 30 seconds and 3 minutes. And then they'll bounce out of my website. And that's when Meta or TikTok takes over and they start retargeting. Bam, bam, bam. Here, you had this in your cart. You love this. We thought you might like that. And you got to pay for that. So yeah, we're spending a lot of money on marketing.
What would you say the return is on something like that? So let's say one ad costs you $100.
So you're hoping to get about a 3 to a 4, what they call ROA, return on ad.
Yeah.
So if I spend $1, I need to make $3. If I spend $1 and I make $4, I'm going to buy that ad more and more and more because the value of the property, the return is there.
And does it work?
It does work. It does work. Honestly, we've had some major disruptions in our business. So,
you can hear Goliath, man. That's a rooster.
A rooster.
Yeah, that's the only rooster I have.
Cock-a-doodle-doo.
Yeah, dude. Poor, just the lucky guy, man.
I saw him. I walked up here and I was massive. Like surrounded by chickens, and I was like, "All right, where are the eggs? Got get a little omelet later."
All right, for sure.
So your disruptions.
So yeah. Speaking of disruptions, Goliath.
Yeah, lucky Goliath.
What's really kind of tricky about the internet marketing is you have to be careful what you put out there. You have to play by the rules. You can't use alcohol. You can't use sex. You can't use certain components because they'll just be like, you're gone. But we've actually had to fight to have our Instagrams turned back on because of, infractions, things like that. Like our Instagram channel, which you have 160,000 followers on it or something like that, was just completely wiped out one day.
Oh, man.
What the hell happened? I call and they say, well, you have a infringement, IP infringement. I'm like,
what the hell?
Intellectual property? Whose? Like, well, we can't tell you that. And I said, well, no. So I read the laws. So I have to, or the bylaws of Meta. So I had to submit a form requesting who took us down. And it was Budweiser.
Oh my God. What?
And I'm like, what the hell did Budweiser take us down for? I went through our Instagram stories, history, everything. And I found out it was a shirt that we had created that said Babeweiser.
Oh my God.
The fuck?
Babeweiser, right? So it's parody.
Yeah.
It's not even Budweiser, parody. So we couldn't get it back on. I finally sat down and I hand wrote a letter to the CEO, CMO, the chief counsel, the chief people officer at Budweiser. I was like, and I sent it certified mail to where they had to sign for it. I was like, we have no interest in pursuing this legally, but we will. This was parody, which is protected by the First Amendment. We need our Instagram back. It's crushing our business. We're a small business, female founded.
Yeah.
And the very next day, thank God, I got a call from the chief counsel.
Wow.
And she's like, hey, listen, I want you to know that is all done by third party. It's all AI. They just scour the internet for infractions. And because they're so powerful, Meta has to kind of play by those rules because Budweiser and some of those brands are spending billions.
Oh, dude.
And I'm just spending, 10, 20, 30 grand. My money doesn't jingle.
Right.
So that was a hard disruption. But
did you get it back?
I did.
Hell yeah.
It took a long time, and the disruption took a long time to kind of come back from. And so that was another wake up call. It was like, shit, we need to diversify our channels.
Hell yeah.
I mean, if one channel goes and that was 90% of our revenue,
dude,
you're fucked.
So how long did it take? I mean, because that really had to hurt.
Man, 3 months. It hurt. It was hundreds of thousands of dollars of revenue that it just hurt. And then, there's other casualties in business. And like I said earlier, this is a contact sport. You are in it to win it. And if you're not, then you're not going to be around long. And you have to take the hard punches with the wins and just keep going. And at the end of the day, if you can stay in the fight,
Yeah, man.
Your chances of making it are pretty good.
Mm-hmm. So which channel do you find to be the most successful currently?
Instagram is still the king of content for us. Yeah. It's easy to product seed. It's easy to tell a story. They've got the best algorithm. They've got good communities. But I'll tell you what, I think TikTok's going to probably become a little bit more advantageous for us. Their search algorithm is phenomenal. Their audience engagement is pretty impressive. I know that there's talk of it going away, but I don't think that's...
I've never used it.
I've never used TikTok?
No, never.
Don't. You'll be addicted.
Yeah, I don't. I just, when it first came out, it's like, man, it's like what the kids are doing, man. It's fucking tacky. Everybody's singing along to something and dancing. Yeah. It's like, what the fuck? Really?
You'll love it, man. I'm telling you, especially in your space, in y'all's space. Like the stuff that's on there it's really freaking
I literally just got one like last year so I can keep track of what my girls are watching and doing. That's the only reason I got it.
Yeah, you got to deal with that. I'm still trying to hide the internet from my kids. They're
going to be fucked, dude, once they realize what's out there.
I'm not excited about the internet for
it's awful
for children right now. It's a tough place, but Meta's the king of content for us. I love TikTok personally. Grayson and I are about to start recording our own podcast, so I'm kind of getting a little dose of what it takes to put one on with you guys today, and then at post production here, Leo and I are going to talk about equipment and stuff like that.
Heck yeah, man!
But any channel we can tap into, we're going to go into. But I don't know if you guys know who Dave Portnoy is.
I love him.
You love him? Okay.
Yeah, dude.
He's the founder of Barstool Sports.
Oh, dude, he started out doing pizza videos where he goes and he rates one bite pizza, and he's this Boston guy. You know, he's got this thick accent, and
Boston accent.
Oh, dude, but his story is insane. I mean, he just starts doing these pizza videos, and you know, his threshold was so high. Like to get a good score, like it could be like the best pizza. He'd be like
6.9.
Yeah,
the crunch wasn't crunchy enough.
Yeah, and it's always
the
a
sauce
cheese.
Wasn't saucy enough.
Just cheese.
I think he hates cheese or something. I don't know. But anyways, he was on a podcast the other day talking about revenue, and he's like, look, everybody has these ways of measuring the success of their business, but like to me, at the end of the day, it's all about profitability.
Yeah, man.
And if you can prove that a revenue stream is profitable, Facebook, TikTok, Meta, stores on the corner of Main Street, whatever, it's worth your time. If it's not profitable, move on.
Yeah, man.
And that's been a big wake up call for Buddy Love over the last year. We had a lot of rev streams that just weren't profitable. And as much as you love those experiments, because in business, everything's an experiment, you just never know what's going to work.
Yeah.
You have to be willing to move on and do it quickly. Because the longer you hold on to it, that shit will
the less money you're making, man.
Yeah, dude.
You're missing out.
You're missing out.
And you got to make money. We're not in business to
not make money.
The first rule of business is to make money.
Yeah, for sure.
To bring the Portnoy thing full circle, what was it? He sold Barstool to ESPN.
Yes.
And then ESPN
tanked
it. And then Portnoy bought it back for $1.
Yeah, $1.
And it's now,
it's back to to being the beast.
It probably outdoes ESPN if I had to guess.
For sure.
And they're big in the online gambling and stuff like that too.
Yeah, I mean he's like a majority shareholder in Penn Gaming.
Yeah,
crazy.
Like the guy,
he's a success story, self-made.
Yeah, he's a stud.
So, anyways, talk about your podcast a little bit. What are the plans with that?
Well, just like everything, it's an experiment. It's a passion project for Grayson. She's like, we need a podcast. She's obsessed with podcasting.
You're like, when?
I'm like, when are we going to find time for that? She's like, wake up at 4 a.m. I was like, okay, cool.
Make it work, buddy. Make it work.
Let's do it.
That's my playtime.
That's my sleep time. So Grayson's obsessed with podcasts. She's listening to everything like Skinny Confidential and Call Her Daddy and just a lot of influencer turned media turned brand.
Yeah.
And we've kind of got that. Grayson's an influencer. She's a travel blogger, a health and wellness blogger. She's a beauty blogger, but she's also a clothing designer. So she's got these
outlets that she can use towards that.
Exactly. Yeah. Beautiful outlets. And
probably friendships in all those spaces.
Exactly. So she's like, you know what? We're going to host a female, founders, content creator podcast that's going to allow people to hear what really happens to get to a business, to become a content creator, to run a fashion business, to run, a small business. And I thought it was great because she started showing me her list, and there's like already like 200 people on her list that are literally in this great state of Texas.
Yeah. Like that
are phenomenal. Yeah. Like the business people
probably in the area too, right? So they can always show up. Yeah.
I love doing business in Texas. I think that like we're in such a good place here in this state to kind of do it our way, not bend to the pressures of, the politics on the West Coast or the East Coast. We just kind of like, hey, you know what? You are who you are. We are who we are. We're just going to do it our
Take it
way.
or leave it.
Yeah. And I love it. I love it. And so working with other small businesses is kind of the genesis of that podcast.
That's
focus
cool,
there and let people tell their stories, because a good story is really at the end of the day what we want to hear.
Exactly. As long as you can make money doing it.
Yeah.
And make money. I don't know how we're going to make money doing a podcast.
I haven't figured it out yet.
Yeah.
I'll let you know when we find out.
Hopefully the audience likes us and they listen. Other than that, I don't know how to monetize it. When you crack that code.
You know what?
And if I crack it, I'll tell you too.
Yeah, please, man. We'll help each other out. So far, it's been a blast. Even if we don't make money, this is our outlet to just relaxation and get some stress out. Sometimes I release some stress by painting or by music, by fishing. But this doesn't cost much.
Yeah,
it's a lot of fun, man.
And you'll have cool people on your show.
We have badass people. We have badass chingones on our show.
Chingones.
If you're not a chingon,
these guys, I think you guys have something special. Like we were talking about niche earlier. Y'all have a good niche. Like the title alone, Confessions of a Private Chef, it's kind of provocative, it's real sexy. I'm waiting for you guys to start to pull out some of the dirty laundry. But that's okay. That's okay.
We've done some, man.
I'm sure I haven't listened to all of them. Y'all are at like 16, 18 episodes now?
I think so.
You're number 20.
I'm 20?
You're 20.
We haven't released them all, but yeah.
That's cool. I'll be number 20. But yeah, it's exciting. I love talking about buddy love. Like if I could talk about buddy love all day, every day, I would. But I got some other interests, some other hobbies out there. I love art as well. Yeah. I've been a part of galleries up in Dallas, and just the art world to me is just quite.
Do you like to do art, or do you just love art to the point? Do you like to collect?
I would consider myself a collector. Yeah. Cool. I'm more of a, I like to get to know artists. I really, the art that I collect is usually through artists that I meet at, well, like you, for example. I just meet these guys or these girls out in the wild, or they'll be coming through a gallery. Just like, man, that stuff is badass. Like, tell me about it. Like, where did that come from? And then all of a sudden that story is like ingrained in you, and you're like, well, now I got to own some of that art. Because like when somebody walks into my house, I don't need a print from Home Goods. I need something that actually means something.
Yeah, that's a story.
And these people are alive, like this is their business too. So if you can support artists, then you're really doing the world a service, because that's a tough gig.
Oh, it is, especially when you paint for yourself, and then you try to make it work as a business. It's kind of hard because some people just don't understand where you're coming from. You kind of have, like you said, you have to talk to the artist, get to know them in order to appreciate why they did what they did.
And that shit's personal for them. It's not like that piece of art wasn't just, made for commercial purposes. I mean, that's coming from the soul.
Yeah, dude.
One, normally.
Yeah, it's one of one, which, to me is why you collect, because you want that one of one. You want that piece that actually means something.
Special.
So, but I like to paint too, throw a little paint around. I don't know if I'm any good, but I'd rather collect and talk about art.
Hell yeah.
That's where
Do you have a current favorite?
There's a guy that I really, well, there's a couple, but there's a guy out of Dallas. He actually has a residency in New York now. His name is Matthew Brinston, and he does a lot of really cool Texas style art. So like I got a couple of pieces from him that are like cowboy-ish, but they're very abstract. So Matthew Brinston is one. And then a really good friend of mine who is from Dallas, now lives in Miami. His name is Captain Casual.
Oh, cool.
And,
that fits your vibe.
Yeah. He's called Captain Casual. He has a real name, but he does not tell anybody that.
That's funny.
I know it. I won't share it.
All right.
But he's got a really cool vibe. And we've actually, Buddy Love and Casual did a collab. We took one of his really beautiful paintings, turned it into a print, put it into a set, and then we sold the shit out of it.
That's badass.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. So what about, being in the fashion industry, you're constantly having to predict the next season. Maybe there's a piece of art that goes into that, maybe you see a piece of art and you're like, okay, this is kind of where we need to go. Or like, how do you figure that out? Or does your wife do a lot of that too?
Fortunately, I do not have to do that.
That's
so
good.
Grayson is, she's a consumer just as much as she is a creator. So she's constantly consuming digital media, and things that are happening, trends, stuff like that at a really high level. And because she comes from such a deep merchandising development fashion space, it's almost like intuitive for her. It's
wow.
Like she can see a color tone and know that that's going to sell. And so we pay attention to certain publications that say, hey, this is going to be the color of the season. It's salmon, or it's, a burgundy, or whatever those colors may be. And we'll incorporate that stuff. But Grayson has such a good eye that she knows what's going to be a trend. And on top of that, she's also she's an artist. What she did really well was she would be able to find a garment, like a beautiful denim button-down shirt, and she'd be like, well, that's great, but what can I do to make it better? Mm-hmm. And so she's gotten into the development side of it, where she's adding stretchy material in areas for the bust, or a tie back here to where you can cinch it. But she's taken the garment that exists, because straight up, like, there's nothing new.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true.
You're just trying to elevate
clothes
something.
are clothes. They've always been clothes. What you're trying to do is just adapt it to modernize it and make it
more personal to the buyer.
Personal,
yeah.
That's cool, man. So we talked about Nashville a little bit before the show started, because I saw that y'all were doing something there. What do you think about Nashville?
Oh man, they call it Nash Vegas for a reason. I like to party. You and I have a tough time keeping up with Nashville party. But we, Buddy Love, our new motto really is life is too short to wear boring clothes.
Oh, cool.
And so we've found that we don't want to make basics. We don't want to make solids. We don't want to make neutrals. We want to make party dresses, whether it's for a bachelorette party or a Sunday brunch or a girls' night out or first date or a gender reveal or an engagement, whatever it is.
Special occasion.
Yeah, special occasion. Buddy Love wants to be there for all of life's greatest events. Nashville literally is
an event town.
And with that, Nashville is now kind of like the bright, shining star of entertainment and celebrity. Like, the biggest names in the world right now are coming out of Nashville. Dolly Parton is still holding strong.
Hell yeah, dude.
I mean, y'all see her last Thanksgiving at the Super Bowl,
dude,
or
yeah.
at the Thanksgiving.
She laid it down,
game.
man.
Looked amazing.
Yeah, she was just on a podcast with Martha Stewart.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, shit. I was watching it, or I was listening to it a couple days ago, and it's like, you can tell in her voice, the age just a little bit. It's funny because she still sounds like a child, but yet, like an older child.
She's a legend.
But yeah, I mean, she does her own makeup. It's crazy. She has wigs, of course, but it's like, funny story was,
the higher the hair, the closer.
Yeah. But she said something on there that was just like, reminded me of myself, and it was like, wow. She just has a way with just people in general, so that's one person I would love to meet.
Oh my gosh, yes.
But yeah, she looks great. She's she's like, how old is she now? 80?
I think she just turned like 89.
Yeah, that's crazy,
90.
man.
I don't know.
Yeah. But yeah,
and Willie's still around. I mean, that guy's in his 90s. But Nashville is, it's what's funny is it's very similar to Fredericksburg. It has,
I've heard that,
a lot to do. It's got a really cool walk around vibe. Like, you can literally go to certain boroughs of Nashville and just hang there all day and bounce around. It's a bachelorette destination. It's got great food.
That's true.
At the end of the day, it's a party scene. But we considered Nashville as another flagship store. But kind of the revelation of the same thing with Fredericksburg. People are wearing Buddy Love when they go to Nashville. They're already wearing it. So it's if we go there,
It's an expensive marketing tool, man. You don't want to.
Yeah, I'd rather sell to the people when they're at home on the couch planning for their trip to Nashville.
Not have the overhead, man.
Through targeted marketing.
Through targeted marketing.
Through keyword marketing.
With less overhead of people trying to keep people there.
Yeah, exactly.
Save yourself all the fucking drama.
Yeah. And so they get to Nashville and then they party. We used to host a bunch of influencer events in Nashville too, and those were pretty ruckus. I mean, influencer trips of another really great way for us. I think collaboration, like what you do with Fredericksburg Cast Iron and Sisterdale, and all those other collaborations you guys do. That to me is kind of the hidden.
That's the secret sauce.
Superpower.
Yeah.
Right? It's a secret sauce. Like if you have a good collaboration, not only do you get to share their audience, they get to share yours. And then those become one audience.
Cross-branding is a powerful thing.
Yeah.
And then hopefully those customers that are coming to you from that other audience become your, your mouthpiece, your sounding board. They start talking about your brand.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
In addition to theirs. So I love collaboration. So I've done, influencer trips in Napa, Tulum, Nashville, Fredericksburg, Austin, everywhere. And the best ones have been Fredericksburg, Nashville, Napa, in that order.
Yeah, in that order. Wow, dude, that's cool. So Fredericksburg is still...
It's up in the top.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
As it should be.
As it should be.
Most affordable of them all.
Sure, too, man. I mean, we're our own little ecosystem here.
Yeah, dude.
We can actually put a bubble over it, and I think we'd do fine.
You didn't have to worry about people not coming home.
Yeah.
You can't go too far.
You can literally go anywhere in let's say 8 minutes in this town, man.
Nashville, it's like we might not see them until the next day.
Yeah.
They're out
it's a big city.
Yeah. But
That's cool, dude. It's been really cool getting to know you. I've seen your presence online, and so I'm just really honored that you came on today, and that you've shared some really great information with us. One more question I kind of was kicking around in the back of my mind is e-commerce. E-commerce, man. This is really a growing thing, and maybe before COVID, it was maybe a fraction of what it is now.
Yeah, it was.
So how do you manage that? How do you manage, it's a lot of shipping, it's a lot of receiving, it's a lot of, logistics.
It is. I would say that e-commerce is kind of, it is a really, really important sector in the industry to learn. Like you really have to go for it. Fortunately, there's platforms like Shopify or WooCommerce or BigCommerce. And what those platforms do for you is they give you almost all the tools to succeed. So, for example, we built our entire e-commerce experience on Shopify. So everything from the front-facing website, which is buddylove.com, to the back-end shipping, inventory management, fulfillment, and returns. You got to worry about taxes. You got to worry about all kinds of things in there. But Shopify is basically open source app built by developers around the world. So, I would say I think one of the things that I'll probably put together that I think would be really helpful for young entrepreneurs is a tech stack. So understanding what each component of your technology stack should look like. You've got your website. When somebody gets there, then what? We serve them up with a pop-up that says, hey, sign up for our newsletter.
Yeah.
Let's say they sign up for your newsletter. Okay, now you have to have a flow of emails or a text message flow.
And how do you keep them engaged? Because normally
content.
15 minutes, you're out, or 15 seconds.
15 seconds.
15 seconds. You
got to grab attention quick,
fast. It's usually in the form of an offer. An offer usually converts. So I consider everything we do a conversion. Just getting them to the website is a conversion. That's my top of funnel. Then getting them to give me their email address, that's a conversion. But the ultimate conversion, obviously,
is a sale.
Yeah. You want the number one metric. I mean, if you're out there and you know about metrics, those are great. But the number one metric is dollars in the bank. And you ultimately need to convert. So Shopify just gives you everything you need. And we did not start e-commerce until really the pandemic. Overnight, 2,000 boutiques went out of business. Those were all of our customers.
Yeah, remember.
All of our customers, just like Fredericksburg. I mean, just like any town in the country, the travesty of that still really
lingers
and still hurts to this day. But overnight, 2,000 businesses that we were shipping to, because this is in the height of spring delivery. Shut down the world on March 10th or whatever day it was.
You remember the exact date?
Dude, I remember I was in Las Vegas for a big trade show, and my business partner shows up from China covered in gloves, mask, and basically a hazmat suit. He's like, bro, get ready. I'm like, for what? He's like, they're not talking about it, but it's fucking coming. I was like, what's coming? He's like, COVID.
It's like, I'm not coming.
I was like, dude, what are you talking about? He's like, no, it's going to be really bad. It's going to be really bad. You need to be prepared. I'm like, okay. But anyways, long story short, I owned the domain buddylove.com just for branding purposes. I quickly had to turn that machine on really, really fast. I spent a lot of time. I got really good at it.
That's cool, man.
And along the way, I've just been building and building and building. Like this morning before I came here, I'm literally poking around in my Shopify dashboard, seeing what's going on, checking out what's going on. And it's empowering because e-commerce is...
You're in control, man. It's up to you whether or not you can make it or you want to make it.
Yeah, for sure.
So have you integrated any kind of AI?
I do use AI. I do.
That's cool, man.
I use AI for copy. So for example, we're talking about creative. What I love about AI is just like any writer, you get writer's block. It's like, dude, I need 50 versions of saying this one sentence over and over.
Yeah, dude.
And can you modify it with emojis? And can you modify it with an image? And can you modify it with a question or a call to action? And it just keeps pumping it out. So I use AI.
That's cool, dude.
I haven't used it for any creative visual stuff, but I'm getting close.
How do you feel that it puts you out like in your voice? Does it do a good job of kind of mimicking how you are? Because I don't use it. I feel like I cannot use it for that reason, that it's going to be too proper. It's going to be it's not going to sound like me saying it. So I think I've used it one time and it was like, I ended up spending more time trying to fix it and make it sound like me. It would have just taken me the time to just write it myself. Yeah,
it definitely does have a robot feel to it in a lot of cases. Like, for example, we use it for customer service, like general kind of FAQ stuff. Like somebody bops into the website and they're like, how does this dress fit? Well, we'll use AI to be like, it's sized this way, it runs this way. But then they'll ask a question that AI can't answer. And they're like, oh, this is a robot.
Yeah.
So you have to kind of walk that balance on what you let the computer or the robot do versus what you have to do with authenticity. And
yes,
I mean, any brand at the end of the day, you're not going to make it if you're not authentic. And authenticity right now is kind of like the holy grail.
Right, totally.
Yeah. Like if you can't talk about yourself in a meaningful way and share your story authentically, then that story is going to fall on deaf ears.
Well, and that's one of the reasons why I think Chef Leo's been so successful. And I can even see it in my own story. It's like people, they're not just buying like the food. They find his authenticity, and that is what is magnetic. And that's what draws people. It's the same thing with me. It's like in College Station, we have this, good sized clientele, and they've been following my story from the beginning, and they buy from me because it's me.
Yeah, for sure.
Because they like the story. They like the authenticity, because they can go buy, a meal prepped meal, at HEB,
for sure.
But they pay more money, and they do that because they like me. Same thing with Chef Leo. It's like they could, these Airbnbs have great kitchens, but they get Leo because they love his authenticity.
No,
you know what I mean?
And he's a good time. The guy knows how to party. I mean, tell you what, man. I went to an event with him out at, I can't remember the name. It was like a Spanish villa type thing, and you were cooking up out there.
Yeah.
The guy was like the center of attention. And he's like, I'm not even supposed to be the center of attention. I'm supposed to be in the kitchen.
I got shit to do.
He's like, I got shit to do. No, we're partying. Get out here.
But it's fun. I mean, you're always looking for new experiences in anything and everything you do, Ryan, because what's life if you're not experiencing life to the fullest whenever you can, right? So,
experience is over everything.
Yeah. So, you can go to a winery here, or you can, drink wine at your house, and the experience of the same wine is going to depend on, of course, the people, the surrounding area. So that's going to affect the flavor of the wine ultimately. It's the same thing with food, man. You cook,
You're hitting it on the head. So I drink so much Texas wine at home, and it's not the same.
I know, dude. It's like you can go here, man. It's like totally fucking experience, different experience. So that's what we create, man. Even you with your with the business, the dresses that your wife designs. You're making that woman feel, that girl, the little girl, whoever. My daughters have clothes made by y'all, and then she puts it on. It's like transforms you to a different, it's like an alter ego of that person.
It really is.
So now it lifts your spirits, it lifts your confidence, and it's the same thing when you have a chef come to your house and do a meal, and you have your friends. Now you're a totally different person because, hey, you hired a private chef, and I'm wearing this nice dress, So now you feel like you're living life to the fullest, and it didn't take much. It really doesn't take much, because you can go to McDonald's and spend the same amount of money on one dish, one entree, spend $35 on a burger, and it's like shit. That's what it would cost me if chef came in and cooked just an entree. So these are things that you could do, change up life a little bit and live it. Have
to the
more
fullest.
fun. Yeah, totally, man. And so that's what we're all doing. And I think that if people listen and say, hey, when's the last time you treated yourself I'm not saying to book us, or not saying, just go out of your comfort zone, hit a winery up, or, we have, like here, shit little wineries and great restaurants, great chefs, you have John Claude over at Becker's right now. We have Henry doing,
amazing things.
Amazing chef, other people prepping and doing food classes. So there's tons of stuff to do in Fredericksburg. I'm sure there's places like that in Dallas, but what's funny is like,
not like Fredericksburg.
It's funny. No, not like Fredericksburg, because I get about 70 to 80% of my clientele is coming from Dallas and Houston.
Yeah.
It's crazy. They need that getaway to experience something.
That's
fun.
all buddy love. We're sending all those people.
Yeah, you're dressing them up for us, bro. But that's what we have going for us right now, man. So what's next, man? You got the podcast. That's going to be cool. And the clothing, it's always changing.
Always changing.
And so it's never a boring thing with Buddy, and Grayson. And I see the kids now. Last night I was poking around, and they have their little Instagram now.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm loving that. I like the vibe of the clothes and stuff.
That's a big market for us now. We it's funny because Grayson and I, we have two daughters.
Yeah.
They're 9 and 11.
It's crazy.
And we started kind of just making clothes for them as babies to kind of just go through their development. And now they're in their tween years, and we put together this tween line. And like the big thing that's happening for us, we just got picked up by Dillard's.
That's badass.
Oh, that's awesome.
Congratulations, man.
15 years in the
That's
business.
a big win.
And not a single big box has ever even looked our way.
Yeah.
But then here comes out this cute little, we were calling it Buddy Love Prep. But it sells specifically to the tween demographic. And we're like, why are you guys interested in this? Or whether this is the biggest consumer segment in the history of the world. Like, why do you say that? They're not, population's not that big. They're like, because of the way they buy. It's like, well, what do you mean? They shop through the internet.
Yeah, dude.
They can one click buy. Money's in the bank, clothes are on its way, and that instant gratification is something that this generation is going to hopefully stimulate the economy for a long time, because we kind of need that right now.
Yeah, man. I see that here in my house as my girls. They'll work with me, they'll make their money, and then they're shopping like that night for their own clothes.
Yeah.
As a father, you're responsible to feed them, dress them, and stuff. But there's something about, them having their own cash flow that their mentality is like, well, now I can buy what I want. Yeah, with, a few exceptions, but it empowers them to, we don't want them to grow up, but they know responsibility. We're teaching them responsibility and stuff. And
it's inevitable, right?
Yeah. So at that age, my girls are, 13, 14. And so your girls are close behind, and it's going to be one of those things that, even if their parents are not buying it, the kids are going to be buying it themselves. So, man, being in Dillard's like that, man, just opens up big doors for you, man. It's going to be crazy.
Huge. It was, we went through, like I said, we went through the COVID shutdowns. We had to pivot into DTC, which is e-commerce, a fancy version of e-commerce, direct to consumer. We've done a bunch of experiments, and as hard as it gets, you just keep going. And then all of a sudden a Dillard's shows up, or you never know who's going to knock on your door. So just stay in the fight. I think that's kind of the theme of my podcast today, is like, you got to stay in the fight, because once you're out of it, game's over. So just never give up. Never. never give up.
You got to make Eye of the Tiger your theme song when you start.
I used to be in sales, and that was what my my sales director. I sat in a bullpen, smiling and dialing, calling and trying to make dollars, and I never could hit my quota ever until like the last day. And he's he's like, bro, you're like a prize fighter. Like, it always takes you to the 15th round to get up off the mat and finally do your fucking job.
And you finally do it, it's like, I fucking quit.
And then I'm like, oh yeah? Well, when do I get my commission check? He's like, commission checks will be on the 15th. All right, I'll sign in my resignation on the 16th.
There you go. Bye, Felicia.
Yeah, man.
Nice, dude.
That's cool. Well, again, I mean, thank you for the great insight.
No, my pleasure. I have a lot of respect for what you guys are doing. I love this town, and maybe next time I can get Grayson down here with.
That'd be great, man.
Dude. Well, maybe we'll plan a trip up to Dallas, man. It's been a minute. Love to check out the studio. Love to check out the store, man.
Come on up.
We gotta do market when we're there.
Oh yeah, dude.
Come check out a market. Come check out some of the new restaurants that are there.
Fuck yeah.
Eat and drink well.
Hell yeah. Be merry. Party it up. I mean, if anybody's gonna take us out to party, man, it's gonna be Buddy.
I got you, my man.
So, Buddy, tell everyone how to get a hold of you every possible way, you know.
All right. I love that. Appreciate you offering that up. You can always shop our looks at buddylove.com. You can follow us on all of the main socials at Shop Buddy Love. And you can find us on Lover's Lane in Dallas, where you can shop in store. But I also want to give a shout out to the 300-400 boutiques that still carry our brand around the country.
Nice.
If you live in a small town, please go in and support your local boutiques and ask them if they have Buddy Love. If they do, you're in the right boutique.
Hell yeah.
Ask for it.
And if they don't, demand that they pick us up.
Or directions to the boutique that carries it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Dude, that's badass,
Great,
dude. Well, I mean, quick plug to our sponsor, Man for Expert Cast Iron.
Oh, yeah.
It's, you know, they make what we do, you know, a lot more enjoyable because we don't have to worry about, hey, you got to pay that bill for the damn software. Or you know. So thanks. I mean, their products are great. You can go to fbgcastiron.com, pick up one.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be posting a promo code, so if you live out of town, we can get one shipped to you at a discounted price. So please look out for that. And then, of course, you can find us. Theo, how do they get a hold of you, brother?
www.thedineanddude.com. Social, same thing. The Dine and Dude, I'm the only one.
That we know of.
That we know of, yeah.
No Dine and Dude 105344
underscore.
You know, back to the FBG thing real quick. You know what's pretty sexy is that meat tenderizer, the one that you can smash the burgers with.
Yeah.
Dude, I saw John Claude doing some good work with one of those. He was searing some short ribs with
I saw that, man. I saw
really
that.
good.
Yeah, he's doing some good shit. Yeah, but anybody needs to get out. Yeah, everybody needs to get out too, Becker.
Hell yeah. So not just cast iron skillets, but you know they got some great hardware too.
Yeah, we have the mini Dutch oven too, like a little cast iron souffle. Now he made a lid for that thing. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
keep your ghee in there. Or
so they're expanding their product category.
They've always they got a great product. They have comals, two different sizes, two different size skillets. They have some hand tools with spatulas. Every once in a while, you'll see a release of a custom-made chef knife. You know, so gotta follow them so you can keep track. Literally, when they get these knives made, they last 30 seconds
and they're
like gone.
Yeah.
So everybody's waiting for those things to come out. They're coming out from a gentleman out in West Texas. The company's named Sage Forward. So look for them on Instagram. Great company. But Jay, he knows his shit over there, man. Totally badass. For Expert Texas company, so support whenever you can.
Always.
Yeah. So
and Chef, where do they go? We need to go vote for Chef Leo. Well, it might be over by the time.
Maybe, yeah. So
get done today.
Yeah.
Where do we go? Fredericksburg.com.
Yeah, just go to my Instagram. There's a little if it's still going, there's going to be a little link up on the top of the bio, man. That's the best way to go. But it's for Expert Standard. The newspaper's putting that out. But you can also find me at FBG
EFBGTX.
Dude, I can't remember my own shit. I can never. I'm sorry, guys.
I think you have like what 3 of them these days.
So we have
those backlinks working.
Yep, Eat FBGTX, Eat Fredericksburg, Texas, or Chef Leo Aguirre, .com, and of course social media. You can find me at Chef Leo Aguirre or Eat FBGTX, and then of course all our confessions of a private chef.com.
Yeah,
and same thing for social media. So yeah, and you can find us on all major platforms.
Heck yeah.
Anything you listen to music on. So there's about 18 of them out there. So it's pretty hard to miss us. And if you can't find one or you don't want to download one, you can just go to our website. There's a link where you can click on that and take us to a player, and you can keep up with that. We're a little slow on posting video, but on YouTube, we have also a YouTube channel with some video. If not, we'll post some snippets of our sessions.
Yeah, man.
So yeah, and please follow, leave a comment. If it's a negative comment, that's fine. We love to respond to that, especially me. I can totally be an asshole when I have to, and I really enjoy doing so as well. So great.
Just leave a comment.
But leave a comment if you like it. Heart our stuff, and really interaction with social media. In any of our outlets, including Buddy Love. Heart. Comment and just share, guys. That's the best way to help support what we do, and sharing the content and get their friends to share, and just word of mouth. So that goes a long way.
It doesn't cost much to
be nice.
Throw a like or throw a comment these guys' way.
Yeah,
anyone's way. If you support any business, so yeah, for sure, guys.
Sure. That's true. All right, I got one last thing, because I know that y'all usually close out the show with
a recipe. Yeah, go ahead.
I want to know if my recipe can be made in a Fredericksburg cast iron.
Yeah.
And my recipe is called Pillows of Love.
Oh.
Agnolotti. Ricotta stuffed agnolotti pasta.
I've never tried it.
You've
Sounds
never
delicious.
tried it?
No. Explain to it. Break it down. Break the recipe down.
The recipe's real simple. It's a pasta stuffed with ricotta cheese. And it looks like a little pillow. It's like a ravioli, but except a little smaller.
Is it like the size of a gnocchi?
Yeah, it's like the size of a gnocchi, and it just pops. And you can douse it in whatever sauce you want. You can go
Vodka?
clear white vodka all the way to red.
Sunday?
Yeah, Sunday, all that. So, but it's that ricotta cheese inside.
Dude, I think I'm going to skip all the other ones that we haven't done. Let's go straight to that one.
Yeah, we can do it now.
Pillows of Love.
Pillows of love.
In a cast iron.
Dude, fuck yeah.
It can be done.
I would totally just make them, toss them into a little bit of butter and sage on there.
Dude.
And get them a little nice, kind of like what you do, fried ravioli. But then, drench them with something nice, maybe a little bit of honey.
Oh, dude, hell yeah.
That would work good, just like a little appetizer.
Little lemon zest,
So that's one take on it.
Yeah, there you go.
But yeah, we can get pretty fucking creative with that shit.
I'm telling you guys, that's an Italian dish that has to be on the menu next time I come through.
Dude, I'm going to put it on my regular menu.
Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah. But it kind of sounds like a pain in the ass, though, to be doing that end of it. Yeah, how many do? You better make them big or for smaller customers. Or charge a shitload.
You can make them big. You can make an extra large pillow.
There you go.
And you can even say Pillows of Love. Buddy Love X Chef Leo Aguirre.
Extra large, man.
Like the collaboration,
for her pleasure.
Yeah, I like that. I'm simple like you, man. I just want to keep it with a little olive oil, a little salt, a little pepper, butter,
damn,
garlic.
For sure.
Man.
Brother, thanks for being on, man.
Man, this has been fun. Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah,
absolutely,
brother. It's great seeing you again. Can't wait to do it again. So, guys, thanks for listening, man. We'll talk to you later.
See you later.
Ciao.
Bye.